channel, Hear Me Out. I'm Dee.
I'm E.
And today we're going to be talking to you guys about a show that recently ended. Maybe not that recently, but anyway, recently for some of us.
Yeah.
And that's Succession. Now, we have been trying, guys. We have been trying to get this video out. But things keep happening in the entertainment industry. And it keeps
Oh,
pushing it.
slow down. Like, we've been trying to record this for like a month.
Uh-huh. Literally. Like E made sure she got the HBO Max subscription before it became Max just to
Mhm.
watch this show so we could do this video. So guys, bear with us. We're going to give you a quick rundown of the entire series that was Succession. If you're someone like me that absolutely loved it, you're going to enjoy this. Or if you're someone like E who kind of absolutely hated it, then you'll love this either way. So,
So dumb that I hated it. I was waiting. They were like, probably, oh, they're going to talk great things about it. No, I hated it. But we're going to get into it.
guys, the reason why we're here, the reason why we have this channel is because literally we almost never agree. Like, almost never.
How are we friends for 20 plus years? I still don't know.
I don't know. Like, I really thought when I recommended this show to E, oh my God, she's gonna love it. What was I thinking? What was I thinking?
Well, you did recommend Game of Thrones, and I
Good.
was obsessed. Even though you didn't prepare me for Ned, but that's neither here nor there.
That's probably a whole nother video, guys. So let's get started.
All right. So if you watch Succession, let us know in the comments what you
Mm-hmm.
think. But for those who haven't, we're just going to give a brief synopsis of, what the show is about and what happens, a little bit in each season. So the synopsis is the series centers the Roy family. Shout out to Logan. The
Logan.
the owners of global media and entertainment conglomerate Waystar Royco and their fight for control of the company amidst uncertainty of the health of the family's patriarch, which is Logan Roy. Season 1 tracks the lives of the Roys, so it's Kendall, Roman, Shiv, and the rest of the family, as they contemplate their future once their aging father begins to take a step back from the empire. Season 2 follows the members of the Roy family as they struggle to retain control of their empire. And while the future looks increasingly uncertain, it is the past that threatens to ultimately destroy them.
Whew. Well, alrighty. So season 3 that actually begins in the family in a very perilous position here, whatever that means for billionaires, but that's neither here nor there. Scrambling, guys, scrambling to secure their familial, political, and financial interests. Tensions rise as bitter corporate battles threatens to turn into a family civil war. That is a lot more fun. Anyway, so season 4, the final season. What was that about? Okay, here we go. The sale of the media conglomerate Waystar Royco to tech visionary. I mean, I'm giving him all the side eye for that. Lucas Matson. The prospect of the seismic sale provokes existential angst and familial division among the Roys as they anticipate what their lives will look like once the deal is complete. Side note, they'll be rich regardless. A power struggle ensues as the family weighs up a future where their cultural and political weight is severely curtailed. And of course, the worst thing possible, what's
Dun,
literally
dun.
in the title, Logan dies. Womp womp.
How can he do this to me? He was the whole show. Like, who wants to see these bratty kids? Of course, if I was Logan, I would find like some age defying, health defying things. So I would not have to leave my my fortune and my reputation with these dumbass kids. I have to sorry, with these not so bright kids. Like their sense of entitlement and thinking they know stuff, they're really acting like they're freaking teenagers. They're so
Mhm.
immature. They don't know anything about business. And that is the reason why Logan was stringing them along. He
Yeah.
should have left that to, I don't even know, like Frank.
Yeah.
Give it to somebody else. I'm
Jerry.
like, Jerry. Well, he was pissed at Jerry,
Yeah, I know.
But like, if he was really concerned about his legacy. His kids weren't it.
Mm-mm.
They weren't it. Actually, I would have preferred him to give it to Connor over the other Munchkins. Like, I can't.
Not Connor.
Connor was like the best. He was so chill. He just wanted to be a president
Not
without
the
ever
future
wanting
ambassador of Slovenia. Connor.
Connor. Connor. What
Okay.
did
Okay, so of course, like I mentioned, I absolutely love the show. Like, love the show. Mind you, to me, HBO is like the premier, premier drama show maker. Like, love. Okay, now, the Roy kids sucked. They did. But to me, I think making these caricatures of people, right? Because this family is supposed to be based on the Murdochs that own the Fox and other news global empire. They, have been basically turned into what the Logan family is supposed to be, the Roy family, I'm sorry, is supposed to be, but caricatures of it all, right? Like these people are just like excess, like personified. And yeah, I think that a lot of it to me was an indictment of what privilege is when you have literally all this money, all this power, and you assume, like Kendall did, that that was going to be his. There was no thought in his mind this won't be. He knew that was going to be his. Then you have Shiv, who the only female, the only daughter in the Roy family, who was constantly put down because she was a woman and because she had a little bit of a liberal tendency. But we're not even going to go there right now because, girl, she was neither here nor there. Anyway, and then you have, of course, Roman, who I think had some real major issues in his life, and there was no way he was going to be ever prepared to take over a company. Now, the often forgotten Roy member, the aforementioned Connor, that man was never going to be taking over no kind of business.
But he didn't even want it to his defense.
I don't think he wanted it. You're right, but I think he probably just wanted to be asked or wanted to be
True.
considered.
He did.
Like he's the oldest, but throughout most of the show, everybody just assumed
Oh, I'm the oldest male,
I'm
whatever.
the
I mean,
firstborn son. Or, sir, you have a whole brother older than you. Hello. I mean, granted, he could look like your daddy, but that's not the point. He's your brother. Like, anyway, so I think that the show did a great job in portraying these three siblings as the antithesis of what you need to have in power, and it gives you a glimpse into what we normally don't see, right? Like us regular people that aren't a part of the 1%, that aren't a part of like the power structure in our country, these things that happen, these backroom deals of like political opponents, political agendas and all that are just being like kind of handled by not necessarily the people of the country, not necessarily constituents or the even the elected officials, but really these rich folks that control everything or have the means to control everything. So I really enjoyed seeing how a lot of that played out. The family drama was hilarious to me. All of them needed hella therapy. I mean, oh my God. Like, you could literally, like, probably do a whole show on just like their therapy needs. I don't know. I really liked it because there was just so much of like what was wrong with the Roy siblings and how essentially, you couldn't really root for one or the other. I think they were all kind of in their own way, shape, or form just terrible. And so, like, who do you really root for in this sense? I mean, yeah, most of the time I was kind of going for Logan because it's like, man, at least he knew what he was doing. So seeing how just completely like what's the word? Not inaccurate, but like just not ready for the role. The siblings were. It was like almost scary. Like, can you imagine Roman in power? Like Roman. I, I just couldn't. So I enjoyed like seeing a lot of that. And then also the fact of like none of them were good people. Like, who do you root for in this, show? Normally in a show, there's a good guy, a bad guy, you know who to go for. I never knew who to go for. One week I was like, oh,
Anti-hero, kind of.
yeah. Like one week I would go for Shiv, the other week I'd go for Roman, the other week I'd be like, damn, I feel bad for Kendall. And then other times I was like, you know what, Logan's right. All y'all suck.
But Logan was a real G. I can't believe he had these kids. He should have
Oh
been
my
done
gosh.
all. And the ex-wives, current wives, girlfriends, they were too much. TEW. I can't.
They really were.
But I was expecting, first of all, HBO Max, whatever you want to call yourself, give me back my $9.99 because
Ooh.
it's not the show that I was expecting. I just wasted a whole month, which, for the first 3 seasons, I was like invested, but not really because it was taking me like a long time on these kinds of things. I think it was
Yeah.
very uneventful. Like,
Oh,
besides,
okay.
Kendall doing, kind of sort of killing somebody, but not really, but sort of. Other than that, like what else? Logan died till season 4. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
was expecting a succession to be hit like right there and they're like fighting it. I was expecting Hunger Games, you know,
Oh wow.
kind of thing.
Okay.
Like the bat or like some kind of what is it called? Like Squid Games kind of thing. Not
Oh.
so severe. But I thought he was just gonna be alive, right?
Yeah.
I had two different scenarios. So one, he's alive and he sits his kids on the round table and be like, hey, I don't want to pick none of y'all, basically, but I gotta leave it to somebody. So y'all kind of duke it out and I figure out who's the winner at the end.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I thought it was going
Sure.
to chronicle that. Or he was going to die early on, and then we were going to see, like, who wants to take what.
What happened? Yeah.
I feel like it was just dragged on. Then him dying the way he died devastated me. I couldn't watch the show for like 2 weeks after that because it was agony at this point. It was
Wow.
agony
Okay.
to watch Shiv. It was torturous to watch Kendall. I think Kendall really loved his dad though,
Yeah.
and Roman too. But Shiv, she was what's that term? She was like
She was cutthroat.
she wasn't cutthroat. She was a little. Did you hear that, guy? She was a little. She
Ay, Dios.
she thought she knew something, and she ain't know shit. She ain't know nothing. Like, she wasn't ready for nothing. She needed to
Oh.
stop pretending. She was trying to be friends with what's his name, Matson,
Lucas Madsen, yeah.
trying to be like I'm gonna call her a diva, know it all. Oh yeah, I'm really playing the game, and then you got played because you're thinking you know what's going on, and you really don't.
Ooh, dang.
So
Oh,
probably your daddy saw something, and you just had this chip on your shoulder, girl. You couldn't
yeah.
handle it. That's hands down. Kendall, I thought he was the best equipped for it. I think it just spiraled out
Yeah.
of control once his daddy said no. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just being led on, be like, hey, I'm the next person, blah, blah, blah. He's making
Yeah.
his moves. And then, Logan being Logan, just
Logan
shutting
being Logan.
him and saying, oh, you're stupid, all your decisions are bad. I could see this guy spiraling. I mean, granted, you don't do that to your family, all in public and stuff.
Oh.
But
Ooh.
I think he was the best equipped. I thought he had the most business acumen.
Yeah.
Is he CEO material or representative of the family? Hell no. He sucked. But I would leave him as a COO. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Roman just needed a hug. he
Did
was
he though?
he was acting out, doing you know what behind closed doors, trying to make
Yep.
it very uncomfortable, talking about sexual harassment here and everything
Whew.
inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
He just needed love. He was treated so poorly as a kid,
Yeah.
and we see that chronicled kind of like throughout the show, especially towards the end.
Yeah.
And he wasn't, I don't think, mentally ready for it. And
No.
Connor, like you said, he just wanted to be asked, but I don't think he really cared. He was just chasing this daydreamer, choreographer, whatever she was, drama maker. What was her
I
profession?
think she was trying to be a director or actress or something. Like,
This girl that doesn't want
yeah.
to, and that was his main
No.
priority. And then to be relevant, he wanted to be president. I mean, I guess we saw that happen in real life.
Woo.
No
Oh.
president, but I thought
Mm-hmm,
Connor
mm-hmm.
was the most lighthearted one, which I liked. It was refreshing
Yeah, yeah.
compared to like all the
Okay.
stickiness. Logan was a real badass. I mean, sometimes all the stuff that he did was kind of hard to swallow. But I
Yeah.
feel like the show dragged on too long. It really, like, at the end, Succession of what? Nobody got it. Tom got it. He ain't even a kid.
Well,
He kept his eye on the prize, though. He
he
got
is married to Shiv, and Shiv is pregnant with his child. Therefore, there's some Roy, kind of succeeding in some way, shape, or form.
And then the way Shiv screwed over her family, like
Yeah.
at the end, oh, it's repulsive.
Yeah.
Like I thought, I'm like, okay, they're getting their shit together, their stuff together. Sorry,
Yeah.
and they're gonna figure it out. Beat out Matson. They're gonna keep the company. They had a whole thing,
Yeah.
and then Shiv does this thing to be a
Yeah.
GDI, a goddamn individual, and then the scene ends with her holding Tom's hand. I'd be like, what? Like, you don't even respect Tom. You didn't even respect the marriage.
No.
I mean, whatever goes on in
She
people's marriages is fine, but I'm like, can you imagine saying, "Hey, I kind of don't love you when we're getting married. I mean, we got married. I kind of don't love you, and I'm probably cheating on you. This ain't really that serious. Goodbye."
that was hardcore. But like to me, Shiv ending up the way she did was like the worst thing that could happen to her
True.
because she ended up becoming the person she most despised, and that was her mother. She literally became her mother. And I want to say that her reason for choosing Tom, I think, is equal
Convenience.
parts. Huh?
Convenience.
Well, yes, I think it's equal part convenience and also her disdain for Kendall. I think ultimately she could not stomach Kendall taking over. She could not handle him being in power because it's like, her whole life, like I mentioned earlier, she's kind of been cast aside because she's a female. Kendall would do the exact same thing that her father, did to her forever. Um, and she may not love Tom, but she can manipulate Tom. She can control Tom. Now she's having a kid by Tom. Tom is not the one in power. She can, her proximity to power is still there, right? In essence. Whereas had she gone with Kendall, she would have been pushed out like fairly soon, and her proximity to power would be like non-existent. Yeah, for sure. Kendall, like, if you notice in those last scenes, those last episodes, the way he treated Roman when he like rubbed Roman's scar like on him, like basically making him bleed again, making Roman like feel pain. Um, it was equal parts him trying to help Roman calm down because Roman I think has some kind of sadomasochism thing going on. But also him asserting his power over Roman. And then in the way that like he also, just treated Shiv and kind of like never really gave her proper respect either was very much just like indicative of how he was going to be. Was he going to be as bad as Logan towards her? Probably not. But I think to some extent he could have definitely, been very, very much dismissive of her. There was a lot of times where Roman wanted to tell her what was going on, decisions that were being made, and Kendall did not care to include her. So he was already, ousting her when they were supposed to be, doing things together. So he was already showing signs of what he would have been to her and what her proximity to power would have been with him in the throne, so to speak. Versus with Tom, she's right there, like in still in the middle of it. She is still a Roy allowed in Waystar Royco's building. Versus, now Kendall and Roman are no longer in the picture when it comes to that. So I think that's why she decided to do what she did, even if it meant sacrificing who she is and also who she became. Like, that's the antithesis of who she wanted to be, but that was sacrifice she was willing to pay to still stay in power somehow. So Roman, I don't really think changed much. I don't think there was really anything that was going to help. He ended up being back at a bar, at the end of things. And Kendall, the worst thing that could have happened to him happened, and that was losing his birthright, as he thought. But all in all of them are still filthy freaking rich. So could I feel bad for you? Nope, not at all. But R.I.P. Logan, though.
R.I.P. Logan. Why do you do that to my man? I love Logan. I think he's the one.
He was
I
horrible.
Yeah, but I like horrible people. I don't know
This
why.
is true. You're very weird. Yeah, this is very true.
He kept the show spicy. I'm gonna say
He did.
because if
He
I
did.
had to see these 3 kids for 4 seasons because I was committed at this point, $9.99 recession, I'm gonna see it through.
Right.
Pissed, even more pissed than I am now.
Yeah.
Because that's money that I wasted for a show I didn't even like that much. Except, of course, Logan. I mean, some people are cutthroat and meant to do what they do, and some people are not.
Yeah.
That's ultimately what this is. But
This
the Murdoch family didn't even want to watch the show or just watch like one episode of it, and they're like, "Oh no, we're not gonna even."
Yeah.
So
I think it's hilarious. It's kind of like a mixture, supposedly a mixture of like the Murdoch family, the Trump family, and just the ways in which people hold on to power. And at the end of the day, as terrible as Logan was, he knew how to make things happen, but he was also a relic of his time. He was not someone that was actually, keeping up with the times anymore. And, I think that like him selling to Matson was going to be the best way for him to go forward. But ultimately, like, he wanted to keep the news portion of Waystar Royco, and I mean that was just going to go sideways anyway. But
because
I love the show.
that's the way he keeps power, because he's manipulating the media. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But he would have rather sell it to Matson than leave it to his 3 children.
That says a lot.
That says a lot. And that's
A lot.
That's how I'm gonna conclude that. Shiv, I have nothing.
No, nothing further. No,
nothing further. But if you guys have watched the show, let us know what you think. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Did you not? I watched it because Dee recommended it, and of course, fashion. The famous line of Tom talking about the Burberry bag. This what did he call it?
Oh my gosh, he's
bag.
Capacious. Yeah,
capacious bag. It's what does she do? Like eat lunch from there, kind of thing. And I'm like,
oh my god,
fashion. Let's watch it. So I was like, I guess, give me back $5 for because the fashion
oh my gosh,
was insane. I was, guys. That's how Quiet Luxury came about.
Oh yeah,
high-end stealth wealth. So
yeah.
I mean, am I Royish today?
Oh my gosh, yeah, totally. Shiv,
very low,
totally.
Very Quiet Luxury. Let me know. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you liked it or not. Do you side with Dee and loved it? Do you side with me? Want a refund? Let us know. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos, and we'll do another review next time. Peace.
Yeah. Bye.